I started acting in 1948 in Roy Rogers' The Eyes of Texas.
This is Mr. Rogers. How you do?
This was really the golden age of Hollywood.
Yes, it was. It was just luxurious.
This is my lucky day.
When I went to the Olympics in 1984 in Los Angeles, there were 25 to 30,000 people outside on the lawns around the Coliseum trading Olympic pins.
You want in on this?
I said, what in the world is this? I just couldn't get over it. And to collect them all has taken me ever since 1984.
For Mason Dinehart, it all started right here at the LA Memorial Coliseum during the 1984 Olympics. He'd had a successful acting career, seen plenty of Hollywood glitz and glamour. But this time, it was something else shiny that caught his eye. Mason Allen Dinehart made his film debut in 1948 when he was 12 years old.
Boy, that's the hungriest bunch of kids I ever saw.
Young and hungry, he set out on the dusty road to Hollywood fame.
Did a lot of westerns and then got cast as Bat Masterson in The Life and Legend of Wyatt Earp.
Hello, Mr. Masterson.
Hey, Wyatt!
For 5 years, he played Earp's gunslinging, gambling sidekick.
Look out! You want any more?
Hanging out in saloons, even though in real life he was still too young to order a drink.
I say you got a little smear on your upper lip.
Oh, that's a mustache.
I got to meet all the wonderful, wonderful actors, the Clark Gables, the John Waynes. I did a movie with John Wayne, Jet Pilot.
So that's the shape you're in.
Freddie!
Playing a catcalling kid, that brief brush with the big screen was one of many.
Was he making fun of me?
On the contrary, he was paying you the highest compliment in his power.
Powers far beyond those of mortal men.
I was the first actor to play Superman on film. I played Clark Kent as a boy.
He could perform unbelievable feats.
My job with my X-ray vision was to dive into a haystack and pull out my mother's ring.
They wound up using a gold watch for the close-up, but either way, Dinehart never lost his taste for finding a rare, valuable object in a haystack. That seed finally sprouted in 1984. By the time LA hosted the Olympics, he'd moved on from acting.
Guess I better quit. I gotta see a friend of mine.
To pursue his other passion.
I said, I need to go into the career that I really want, and that would be in the brokerage industry.
He'd learned everything about trading stocks and trading bonds, but here on the front lawn of the Coliseum, he discovered a new kind of trading, the unofficial Olympic sport of pin trading.
These pins were $100 each, and I just couldn't get over it.
Thank you.
By some accounts, pin trading began 100 years ago as a show of friendship between Olympic athletes.
Thank you so much. Thank you. May I shake?
When you conclude a trade with someone, you shake hands. You've made a friend.
Sid Morantz is vice president of the world's biggest Olympic pin trading club called Olympin. He started at the 1976 Games in Montreal.
This has some autographs on it.
Yeah, we went to a reception for the Olympians and we brought this and got him to sign it.
That was the year, he says, spectators first got in on the action of trading pins.
I enjoy the trading as much as I do the having, because you trade memories, you collect memories. I've traded pins with Prince Albert of Monaco, with Mary Lou Retton, with gold medalists. It's a hobby without class distinction.
It's the Olympic spirit in its purest form, and for the first time since his earliest days in the movies,
What? It's me!
Mason Dinehart was starstruck.
The athletes would actually come out in their uniforms, and they had their NOC or Olympic Committee pins, and they would want to trade with you. So you got to know the athletes from these countries.
He still has his collection from 1984.
And the most valuable pin, that's the gold Lesotho.
Though there are pins from sponsors, pins from TV networks, even pins from the Olympic mascot, Dinehart collects country pins, the official pins of each national team that often come straight from the athletes.
They're more colorful, they're much more striking.
And call it coincidence or call it fate, the most colorful and the most striking were all made in 1936, the year Dinehart was born. He's spent nearly half his life collecting every single one.
They are much larger than the normal Olympic pins that you see, and they were just really crafted exquisitely.
The 1936 Olympics were held in Berlin just 3 years before the start of World War II. Germany was under Nazi rule and used the Games as a show of national pride. Other countries considered a boycott, but ultimately showed their national pride with these pins that are now worth thousands of dollars apiece.
From Chile, from Brazil, from South Africa. And here is one of the pins with a swastika.
Something else happened in 1936, the very first Olympic torch relay.
Right here.
You could almost make a lamp out of that. That's huge.
Yeah, this is the Berlin 1936, made by Krupp Steel.
The same steel that would later be used to make tanks and guns for World War II was molded into this shining symbol of peace and unity.
The torch for 1936, which is right here.
Germany also hosted the Winter Olympics that year.
This is from 1936, awarded in pairs figure skating. And it's the largest Olympic medal ever made.
Just one piece of what was a huge collection, including gold medals from every Summer Olympics. A few years ago, he sold them.
For how much?
The usual.
Oh, no. That won't be enough.
And moved to the Bay Area, where that cash helped him buy a spacious house with a swimming pool. These days, he works as an expert witness, helping duped investors go up against crooked brokers, including the infamous Bernie Madoff.
$50 billion is gone.
There is no punishment that fits this crime.
Testifying for 8 hours at a time, turns out it's not so different from Hollywood.
When you walk into a courtroom in front of a jury, you're on stage every minute.
He still trades pins at conventions all over the country.
People that come to those conventions are down-home real people. I didn't find that kind of person in show business.
And though now his business is battling bad brokers, there's none of that in the pin trading world.
People are totally honest. They don't come up with fakes. They tell you what something is worth.
Wouldn't want him to doubt my honesty, and I don't doubt his.
Dinehart was hoping to go to Tokyo.
Now to put your mask on, Sonny.
The pandemic put an end to that dream.
Put it on.
And it means American fans won't be headed to Beijing either. But as for the pins,
Can we exchange?
well, there was still trading in Tokyo.
Most of the trading took place only among the athletes in the athletes' village.
And now those pins are making their way across the Pacific for those with the patience and tenacity to go find them in a haystack.
You and Nellie will get a big reward.